What's going on, people? Welcome to United View. Good evening. Breaking news. Jason Wilcox, finally done, confirmed, has joined Manchester United with immediate effect as our new technical director. KG on the Trinity, powered by Dangor, was only saying earlier in the show, if you've just watched it, big up to you for leaving that. Well, not leaving it, finishing that and coming straight to here. KG was asking the question, are you getting concerned? These deals aren't really getting done that quick. I mean, we always take long. You know, it's a KG. These guys are top guys. They're in jobs. Let them do their gardening leaves. Let them garden, and they will arrive. Finish the show. Finish flexing cage. Finish the Trinity. Deal done. Deal done. Deal done. Big news for Manchester United. Out with the old, in with the new. It didn't take long after John Murto's sort of not absence,
departure.
Departure. That's the word I'm looking for. It didn't take long after his departure for us to get Jason Wilcox in, which we all knew. Let's be honest. The fact that John Murto was out of there, that meant Jason Wilcox was not far behind in terms of his income into the football club, and he is here. And you know what? With immediate effect, we're going to get into the exact statements that have been put out from the club. And get into it. Get his big opinion. Smash a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you are new. Breaking news. Oh, this is probably when you play your thing, but you know.
Breaking news.
A bit loud.
Let's go to the quotes from some breaking news regarding Jason Wilcox to Manchester United, a brand new technical director. Flex. Yes, Manchester United confirmed the news in a statement this evening saying Jason Wilcox has joined Manchester United as technical director with immediate effect. He will work with all technical areas of the football department to achieve the highest standards of performance. Jason was previously director of football at Southampton and before that, academy director at Manchester City. As a player, he won the Premier League with Blackburn Rovers in 1995. Now, just before this statement came out from Manchester United, all of the journalists just suddenly went crazy, Flex. You had Simon Peach acting like a new pope, had been announced, putting the white smoke up on Twitter, going technical director. Fabrizio Romano also posted the following. He said, exclusive. Manchester United have agreed compensation to appoint Jason Wilcox as new technical director. Deal completed now. He's joining from Southampton as former Man City's head of academy and will be a key part of Ineos project at Manchester United. As far as an update on Dan Ashworth, he does have one on him as well, saying talks continue for Dan Ashworth too. Although I did see actually today, Flex, some suggestion. I think it was Craig Hope from the Daily Mail saying that that they're narrowing or they're closing in on a replacement for Dan Ashworth. And once that happens, things are going to speed up when it comes to that as well. And just also a bit of a follow-up from Fabrizio Romano as well. He has said, because one tweet is not enough, of course, he said Jason Wilcox starts as Manchester United technical director with immediate effect, involved to plan for the summer transfer window. Wilcox will work on recruitment and academy, key figure of future structure with Dan Ashworth and Omar Barada. He was never close to joining Liverpool because, of course, when we first went in for him, there were those sort of rumors, weren't there, flying around saying Liverpool, they'd also agreed compensation with Southampton. They'd gone in for him. But very quickly, that was rebuffed by the likes of Romano and others saying, no, he's going to Manchester United. That's where he wants to go. That's the deal that's going to happen. And that is the deal that indeed has happened. So right now, we have, in terms of these key figures, these key executives that are coming in, we've got Omar Barada, who we know starts in July. We've got Jason Wilcox, who's here already. Immediate effect, Flex. No gardening leave. I mean, technically, he has been on one for the last few weeks. For the last few weeks. But he's now in with immediate effect. And just the final person in play, I suppose, is Dan Ashworth. There had been rumors about maybe another hire to come in to work closely with Barada. But we're going to have two of the three involved for the summer transfer window, which I got to say is pretty good going.
And you never know, and you never know with Dan Ashworth, with, you know, when they get their new guy in, you never know what could be around the corner. More difficult to do, but we sit and wait on that. But listen, this is Jason Wilcox's time. It's his announcement. It's his time. It's his show right now. Really pleased, really excited. You know, that's 2 down. You know, 2 down, 1 to go. And maybe some other stuff in the background of this person's going to join the team. But in terms of the main 3, you know, that's 2 of them in the door now. one to go. And what's really interesting about Jason Wilcox's situation is the fact that it is with immediate effect. Now, Monday morning, probably, let's say. Well, I said now, so technically, I don't know, it might go Carrington tonight, might be there now, I don't know. It's a bit late, Friday night. But you might go tomorrow morning to go meet the team and, whatever, go travel down on Sunday with the boys, whatever. But it's now. And the interesting
thing
thing
at Wembley, wouldn't you?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
absolutely.
Technical director.
Yeah,
so Jim's going to be there after the bloody marathon, mate.
Yeah, did you see that? He's going to run. He's going to run London Marathon. He's going to pop Wembley now, mate.
Yeah.
How old is he, by the way?
He's got to be in 70s.
Is he 70s? He is 71 years old. He's doing London Marathon.
I'll tell you what, you're going to finish that by 3, Jim.
I know. Yeah. What time does it start? It's early, isn't it?
Yeah, it must be in the morning. But still, even then, are you going to make it?
Oh my God.
But listen, yeah, shout out to Jim. But what's interesting about Jason Wilcox, like we're saying, is that actually out of the other two, he's here now, right now. He's getting to work right now. Omar Barado does have to wait till, is it June?
I think
July.
I swear it's July 1st. Let me double check that.
Yeah,
Barado.
but he has to wait. He does have to wait. So that is something more where you're like, okay, it will be for the beginning of the window, but we has to wait. But Jason Wilcox is literally straight in now, and that is brilliant news. And I think the fact that we saw with John Murto, who was straight out of there, that gave us every single indication that we needed to know that Jason Wilcox was going to be following him straight away. Otherwise, they may as well just let John Murto go to the end of the season. And I think that shows how quickly and how intent Manchester United were on getting Jason Wilcox through the door for him to start work. Because let's be honest, there's only 6 games left of the season. Hopefully, including, well, no, not hopefully. We've already said 100% we're going to win against Coventry. So there's only 6 games left, and the FA Cup final, it needs to be careful, to go for Manchester United. So, you could just say, oh, John Murto, yeah, there's not really much point changing it now. Just listen, just go at the end of the season. It's only in 4 weeks, as me and Owen spoke about. At the time when it got announced he left, that was a week ago. But it's about 5 or 6 weeks left. Oh, just see it out to the end, John. We'll sort it all out then. No, they're like, no. If we can get it done now, you're gone right now. Jason Wilcox, you're in right now. Omar Barada and Dan Ashworth didn't have the situations going on because they are, not to play down Jason Wilcox's importance, but where they were coming from in terms of Manchester City and Newcastle respectively, and it's not to downplay Southampton, but and the roles that they're being tipped for as well at Man United. They're huge, big roles. Jason Wilcox will be reporting to Dan Ashworth. And
Omar Barada. You know what I mean? Barada. He's in a weird position where he's there and his bosses are still not there. But you do need people on the ground. We've kind of alluded to it, but it was even when I remember when you did the interview with Keith Downey and you said, it's kind of, is there any way that even whilst you're on garden leave, you can have those kind of informal discussions? And he's like, no, you can't. Now, it's not to say that they're not, because everyone has phones nowadays. You know what I mean? But in an official capacity, this is the first person of this new structure in position, in situ, and suddenly things that maybe were a bit more difficult to get done because of technicalities suddenly are no longer a bit more difficult to do. And I think it's going to be really interesting when it comes to the future of a lot of players. I think it's going to be really interesting when it comes to the future of the manager as well, because by all accounts, some key decisions regarding key personnel at Manchester United has been somewhat on hold because Jim Ratcliffe and Sir Dave Brailsford say, well, we're not experts. We want to bring the experts in. Well, one of the experts is coming in and it is in right now. The other expert starts in the summer. Couldn't find a confirmed start date for Barada, by the way. It just said summer. It said start date would be confirmed at TBC, but it's the summer. So one of the people is through the door. So maybe there's conversations about people's futures will start to happen right now because, and not that Jason Wilcox, I don't think is going to determine Eric Ten Hag's future. I do think they'll wait until the chief executive comes in, but
would make sense.
Certainly they can start having some of those conversations they maybe haven't been able to have. And look, Man United mean business. They really, really do. And again, it's exciting. And this is why when we spoke about it in the Trinity earlier on, because KG brought it up. And I think it was a good thing to bring up because I have seen that at the moment. Ineos, are they moving slowly? And particularly for this kind of stuff, they're really not. You know,
it's the opposite.
Yeah, for this kind of stuff, executive level hires to be moving this quickly, to have essentially 3 people confirmed, because they do, but 1 immediate effect right now. Barada, the start date we can't find, but they'll know it. He's coming in the summer. And then Dan Ashworth, that's still the outlier of we've still got to figure that one out. But 2 of the deals they've got done. 2 of the deals are done. There's only 1 deal left in terms of that big footballing department that they want to do. That's pretty quick. They've only ratified a couple of months ago.
Exactly.
So it's not
People
bad
forget
going.
that.
Yeah.
People forget that. And that's what I'm saying, where, you know, some people were sort of saying to me in the comments the other day, you know, why'd you have this blind faith in Ineos? And I had to clarify like where this optimism comes from with the Ineos situation. It doesn't come from, well, I'm just happy we got Sir Jim now. We're fixed. You know, next season, you wait, see what we do. We're going to be, I'll tell you what, we're back. We're back, mate. New stadium's done, you know, or you wait till our summer window. No, it's not on that tip. It's on a vibe of like action.
Change.
Like, yeah, and not just saying it. Like the first batch of interviews, I was like, my ears did prick up. I went, I'll tell you what.
Yeah.
He's come out swinging here.
Yeah.
We all did. And I've done my Sir Jim apology in terms of what I thought he would be like in these early stages versus what I can clearly see he isn't like. So I have to hold my hands up and say I was very wrapped up in the Qatar bid and, you know, wipe out all the debt, full sale, which we still want, by the way. We still don't want them here in any capacity. But I'm not going to say we, I'm going to speak for me. I was very fixated on that. And, you know, the Qataris being able to, what was being told to us at the time anyway, that they were able to come in, wipe off all the debt, super, super rich. We know that. And I was just sort of hell-bent on the first initial, you know, statement that Sir Jim Ratcliffe did. It felt a little bit, I don't know, it's like he's going for like a local fan there. I just didn't buy it. And did I probably go into some of the propaganda? You know, he's not even that rich compared to them. He's hardly got, probably did fall into that a little bit. I hold my hands up. But all I can go off is when I see him myself, I have to take a step back and say, well, from what I've seen, his words are matching actions so far. I can't ask for more than from Ineos yet from this period that they've been here. How could you ask for more than this?
You can't predict the future, can you? You can't predict the future. And that's what, like you said, I've noticed that too, that whole, why do you have blind faith? And I can speak for myself, I can't speak for you, but I don't have blind faith that Ineos are going to get things right. I don't have blind faith that Ineos are going to be are going to bring Manchester United back to the top. I have no idea whether they're going to do that. All I can judge is what they have done so far. And for me, for my taste, because we can't judge them on player transfers right now because they haven't been in the summer transfer window, so we can't judge them based on that. We can't judge them about winning trophies because apart from the FA Cup, but even then you would go, that's not Ineos's reason that we've won the FA Cup if we win it this season. You can't judge them on anything like that. What we can judge them on is things that they can affect. And what they have affected thus far is they've got a new chief executive and a very impressive one, to say the least, that's got a strong record in Manchester City and Barcelona. They've seemingly agreed a deal with the guy, not the club, to get in a sporting director in Dan Ashworth. That's got a very strong reputation at obviously Newcastle, but primarily at Brighton and the FA as well, and actually going all the way back to West Brom. And they've got Jason Wilcox now already, very quickly, someone that also has a very good record with Manchester City's academy. My goodness me, how often are we talking about all of the people that are coming through Manchester City's academy, right? So I can judge them off that. I can also judge them off the fact that they've already got the ball rolling on something massive, which is the stadium, which is Old Trafford. Seb Coe chaired the first meeting this week of the task force to see what they're going to do with Old Trafford. This is in the space of a couple of months. So it's not me going like, oh, they're going to get it all right. It's just going, well, we had to sort of define it earlier this week when we said it's change. Now, sometimes change can be good. Sometimes it can be bad. We're at this point, we don't have enough information to define it, whether it is going to be good or bad. What we can say it is just that, change. Things are changing at Manchester United. Now, I think when you say that sentence, the assumption always is, oh, they're changing. You're saying that you're back. You're saying that they're changing for the better. We don't know that. But what we do know is people that used to be at Manchester United and had been here for a long time aren't here anymore at an executive level. Richard Arnold had been here for a long time. He's gone. John Murtough had been at Manchester United for a decade. He's gone. And that's, again, in the space of a couple of months. And this was also in the case of someone like a John Murtough. that even with Ineos coming through the door, there was reports of, oh, you might want to stay, you might want to stick around. Ineos were like, no,
No.
we don't want that. And look at his job title here as well, Jason Wilcox. Darren Fletcher was the previous technical director, and everyone knew that that's not really what he was doing. He's on the training pitch. He's part of the coaching staff. He's not technical director.
Hey, we see when we sit
you see him all the time.
We're in the lift. We're in the lift because he finishes 5 minutes before they actually blow the whistle because he's got to get down to the change room. That he goes, "All right, Flex." Got his
exactly. He's not and again, and that sums up Manchester United in the sense of he's doing a job that's not really technically his title. Now they do want to keep Darren Fletcher because they like what he does.
And put him in the role. Put him in the role that he's
doing. Put him in the role he's actually doing right now instead of the technical director. Get someone in that's actually a technical director. So they've managed to fix that within the space of a couple of months. And like you say, well, you look at that and you go, well, I hope for more of the same then. if they keep this energy into the transfer window, and we don't know that they will, but if they keep this energy into the transfer window and they keep this energy into the other aspects of the club, that's got to be good because what it was before was shit. So I'd rather have this fresh approach than what we had before, because what we had before wasn't working clearly. Yeah. So hopefully it's the start of more.
Yeah, and you make so much good points there in terms of that's why concluding it's not blind faith. It's not just and when you look at where I don't even want to call it a football department. I can't with how bad it has been for so long with the decisions we've made. You're doing it a disservice to even call it a football department. But what our football department actually was for so long. It's going to be completely unrecognizable. You've got people who are specialists in this field, not somebody who's gone to university with somebody else and somebody else. So they're all mates and they all come from banking.
The Glazers take over
and help the Glazers take over. And, people who don't have a clue, people whose, phone book is very limited. Now you're getting guys in who are specialists in their field. Now, of course, listen, once all the dust is settled, absolutely, people are right. There's expectation.
They've got to do their jobs.
They've got to do their jobs. They know this. Omar Barada's no fool. He's leaving Manchester City, the most successful club over the last few years. It's 115 charges and that.
To join a shit show.
To join an absolute shit show. Which, by the way, if it continues being a shit show, on your head may it be. The Glazers are going to go, him. We stepped back. We know the Glazers game. They're still milking the club and by being majority owners, and let these other guys front it up. It's not because they care about Man United. It's not because they just go, I'll tell you what, it's just the fans deserve better than this. Let's take a step back and get people who know what they're doing. It's no shit. We've got to put our hands in our pockets. We may as well sell a little bit. And actually, if they end up knowing a bit about football, then then they can do that. But it's money driven. But anyway, Omar Barada knows that if he fails at this, or he's not going to get CEOs stay for quite a while usually, unless something really bad happens.
Like
super
controversy,
bad. Controversy, scandal, or United got relegated. I don't know, but they stay for a while. So you can't. I'm not saying if he hasn't got Premier League title within 5 years, he means he's going to get sacked. But what I'm saying is that he could have stayed at Manchester City. And when we did that piece with Julian Lescott, which was a really good piece. Make sure you guys check it out when he tells us more about Omar. He knows him very well, works with him or has worked with him in the academy. He is the guy, and Steve McInerney, who we had on the channel as well. He is a guy that was tipped to take over from Tiki. Is his name Tiki?
Is it Cheeky?
Tiki? Yeah. Cheeky? Yeah, they call him Cheeky or something. Whatever. It's Tixie is how it's spelled. I don't care about the City guys. But, he's the top don.
He was the heir apparent.
Omar, yes, heir apparent. Exactly that. He was the heir apparent. So this isn't someone who's just, putting out the cones at City, just, down the bottom of the chain. I think Julian Lescott said twice, probably third at the table, and was in line to be at the top. And now he's coming to United to be the head honcho. So he knows there's pressure. Jason Wilcox knows there's pressure. When Dan Ashworth gets here, he knows there's pressure. And guess what? Ineos, Dave Brailsford and Jean-Claude Blanc know that there is pressure. They have to start getting it right. But what's the best way to start? How do you get the fans on board? Well, do what you say and say what you do. And in them interviews where he's come out saying, it's about this, that, and the other at the club, and we're interested in this. It's not about money. We want to do this. We'll see, but the money bit's easy to say. So we'll hold back on that. We'll see what they do with players and how much money goes into the club and how it's run. We'll see. So I'm not going to get too carried away. But in terms of the initial, we want best in class for far too long. When Sir Jim's speaking as a fan, this is not the standards. We've had some exciting games. We've got some exciting youngsters, but it's nowhere near where Manchester United's supposed to be. We want to change that 3 to 5 year plan, and we are. Then all of a sudden, there's 3 new guys. What do you want?
Well, and also, as we've said before, and this is the thing that I find very encouraging, is first of all, I find it very encouraging. We've got nearly 1,200 people watching. We've only got 138 likes. This is a momentous occasion. So if you haven't already, click that like button. We've got to get above 10% range. So if you haven't already, click the like button and be sure to subscribe while you're at it, on the road to 165,000 subscribers. But we have done in the past, Manchester United's attempts to get back to the top of English, European, and world football has been to throw money at signing players, which we have done in the past. We spent a lot of money on that. So Sir Jim could have come in. I don't know, you can say Manchester United from an FFP, PSR point of view, we're limited in what we can spend, which is, partially accurate. But still, Sir Jim could have come in and just be like, oh, we'll keep it as the same. I'll funnel some money into the club and we'll just buy a shit ton of players, some good players in the summer. We'll see what happens. And we've seen what happens with that in the past. It hasn't worked. That doesn't work. What you look at the top clubs in England, around Europe, around the world, it is from top to bottom. They have the best. You can't get away with having a substandard CEO. You cannot get away with having a substandard recruitment department. You can't get away with having a substandard director of football. That's the way that football has gone. Gone are the days of having just the manager and the chief executive, like Sir Alex and David Gill. They work together. It's brilliant. That's gone. Football has evolved, unfortunately. And what you do need is you need these people in place first. Then you get your players. Then you decide about your manager. Then you decide about all that kind of stuff. Or these people come in, they set up a recruitment department. Then over the next 3 to 5 years, you buy the best players. You can't come in and just be like, we're just going to buy players, it'll be fixed. It will not be fixed. We have seen it's not going to be fixed. What you can do is come in and to rip it up as much as you can. I suppose not everything at Manchester United can be fully ripped up, but as long as
do it in one here.
But what you can do is go, right, that CEO was rubbish. We'll get rid of him. That director of football was rubbish. We'll get rid of him. That's, technical director. Well, we've got one entitled, but he doesn't really do the job. Right, let's get a technical director in then. Let's put these people in place, and then we'll look at players. Then we'll look at managers. Then we'll look at everything else. So that's why it is encouraging, because that's the right. Because Manchester United, again, this is like basic football fundamentals. We are so far behind the times.
But that's why we're celebrating. We're celebrating technically. I'm not saying this is mediocrity. I'm not trying to play it down, but this is standard practice. This should be like any top club, or even clubs that aren't top. Like, again, no disrespect to Southampton, and no disrespect to Brighton, but there's a lot of clubs that aren't the biggest clubs in football.
They've got
them. that absolutely show you how it should be done. Do you know what I mean? And it is difficult to stay at that level, but there's so many good examples of teams that when they get it together, you start seeing results. You start seeing results when the backing is right, when the owners are in line with the people who make the decisions, then they're in line with the manager, then they're in line with the players, then they're all in line with the fans. It's a timeline, isn't it? It's a timeline that has to be seamless. And this is the way to do it. The Manchukushina, big up for the super chat, Manchukushina. I hope you're doing well, bro. It says positive timing for Wilcox. Hopefully expedites all of the incomings / outgoings for this window. Are you worried Omar doesn't start until the 1st of July or no? That's what we have been talking about, Manchukushina.
I don't know if it expedites
not worried.
And outgoings because that's not all going to be on Jason Wilcox. It must be
stressed. But he is involved with recruitment.
He's going to be part in it. He's going to be part of it, certainly.
But he ain't going to be able to do all of it.
He's
the first one. He's the first one who can get to work on it, though. It's almost like the first one in the room where you know what's going to happen. Well, until they get in here, let me do this bit, or let me send out that email.
Let me have some meetings. Yeah, exactly.
Let me organize some Zoom calls with some agents or something, whatever. So and also that's another thing we got to look at, which sometimes we don't remember, is how we're viewed from outside the club by agents, by other clubs, by people in the game who are in charge of this. Man United have been a laughing stock for ages. It's not the door. Man United are there. Lovely. Right. Here's what we're going to do. Tell them this, and it. They'll buy it. And then, we've got what we want. Now, there's two sides to this. There's the side that these agents and, intermediaries and people involved in deals and all them kind of things there, and other clubs and other sporting directors, and because it's all about the relationships you have. Like, we've got guys in the best in class. They've got good relationships, business relationships with people from City, people from Liverpool, people from Arsenal, people from Bayern, because they're good at their jobs. So we just
get people from Ten Hag's agency. You have the same agency? We'll bring them in.
Mental, get them in. So there's two sides to this. One is that we're going to start to, if this goes right, because it's not blind faith, if this is done correctly, we should get more respect from other people in the industry. That's the first thing. So they start to look at it and go, yeah, when we used to just try and call up John Murtough and those guys and they'd just lap it up. They got Dan Ashworth, he ain't doing that of him. Jason Wilcox, no, I remember him. He's been at City for ages, mate. I remember when we bought so-and-so and he was around the table. Yeah, he's a good character. Oh, that's a Jim. He ain't. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? So there's that perspective change. And the second bit is the bit of the fact that it's seen as an exciting project because there's people who do know what they're doing. So if you're an agent and you've got a young player, I'm not saying it should be Elise. We spoke about that yesterday. Was that this morning?
This morning.
Bloody hell. Look at that. So many videos. Oh, so we've done the morning show, Presser, Trinity, and now this. Honestly. Anyway. If you're say Elise's agent, right, and you want the best move for your client, you might, with the recent track record at Man United and the people who make decisions, you can be like, they're having a laugh. Or you could exploit it and say, I'll tell you what, look what happened with Jay Sanchez. They put him on loads. Yeah, let's just exploit them. But now you go, I'll tell you what, they've got some good people involved there. They're starting to turn things around. This is good for you to go there now. This is, they're doing things differently. I've been told that their plans, the way they sell the project as well.
Yeah.
We flipping rolled out bloody Super Brian Robson, Eric Cantona, Sir Alex, and still couldn't even get Jude Bellingham, mate.
Yeah.
So, do you know what I mean? And then John Murtough was sort of hanging about, saying he was pissed off that what was that story? That he was annoyed that
was it like someone Brian Robson or something like that?
No, someone else. Fergie.
I remember Sir Alex.
It was Sir Alex. It was Sir Alex. So you got Murtough sort of. Can you imagine that? He's called him in for the meeting, but really Sir Alex just took him in. John's just looking in. That's done. Yeah, it's actually me supposed to take him around. All that shit. Anyway, so what I'm saying is you can undo the sins of the past, and this is how you do it. It takes a while, but by doing it, the whole world of football, which we have to operate in, won't see us as a laughing stock if this is done correctly, which means that they know that either A, their players are going to start coming into a good environment with people who know what the hell they're doing, and B, you can't take the piss with Man United anymore because we just won't take your player.
Yeah, I mean, also as well, and that goes back to Sir Jim, doesn't it? I mean, there was the criticism of United was that we were driving too hard of a bargain, wasn't it? Is that which I kind of rolled my eyes at a little bit because it was like, why are we so pushovers when it comes to negotiations? And then because things weren't happening quick enough, it was, why don't we do things quick enough? We should just give them what they want. No, don't give them what they want. I mean, Southampton have also released a statement. Of course, that's where it's come from. They have said Southampton Football Club can today confirm that it has reluctantly agreed to allow Director of Football Jason Wilcox to join Manchester United, having reached an agreement with the Premier League side on an acceptable compensation fee. Whilst the club is naturally disappointed that Jason's stay at Southampton has only lasted 9 months, it wishes him well for the future. And I tell you what,
9 months.
Well, that's again, but this was also the crux of the compensation too, because Manchester United's point of view was, well, he hasn't been there that long. So why would we give you all this amount of money when, again, he's not, he hasn't had huge amounts of influence on the club, which is kind of their point with Dan Ashworth as well, is they're saying, well, he's only been at the club like 12 months. So why?
Yeah, and you
why
bloody nicked him off Brighton for only a couple
yeah,
of million. So
exactly, and he wasn't even at
and
Brighton
you
for
paid
ages
less.
either. Exactly, that's kind of their point. But that gets back to the negotiations, doesn't it? Of going, well, we're not going to be pushovers just because we want them, and we do want them, and we'll get them. But it doesn't mean we're going to overpay. And just again, a bit of an update on the Dan Ashworth thing too. This was the article I was referring to earlier. This was Craig Hope from the Daily Mail.
We do hope.
Yes, Craig says Newcastle's search for Dan Ashworth's replacement is approaching the final phase. Once a decision is made, it should accelerate negotiations between Newcastle and Manchester United over the compensation for Ashworth, because, of course, naturally, Newcastle, with their strings being a bit tight when it comes to PSR and FFP, if they can, they'll want to get this guy in, but then they'll want to get Ashworth off the books because technically they've still got to pay him. So,
exactly.
You know, if they can get him off the book, so things could be coming together pretty quickly. I still say with Ashworth, I don't, because the most impressive thing with this, with Jason Wilcox, is that little bit when it says immediate effect. That's the most impressive thing, isn't it? Because
yeah, it is.
There was a bit of, again, Omar Barada starts in June, July. Dan Ashworth, I still think his start date would be after the summer transfer window. I still think that's probably going to be the case.
But and with who he is and what club he's at, like, no disrespect. Again, I don't mean this with any Southampton.
Do you mean no disrespect to Southampton, Flex? Do you mean any disrespect?
I mean absolutely no disrespect to Southampton, but this is a case.
We're going for similar targets, aren't we? Yeah,
absolutely. We're going for similar targets, and you know, Jason Wilcox out of Southampton, who are in a championship, with all due respect, is a different proposition to Dan Ashworth at Newcastle and Omar Barada at Manchester City. And plus their roles that these guys have within those teams are a lot more significant as well. Not a lot more significant, but, you know, they're higher up. Yeah. And they're always going to drive a hard bargain, you know, to come from a championship team into the Prem. It's fairly easy. It's fairly easy. And also, like Sir Jim said, these guys, as much as we sometimes forget it because of how bad the team has been run and how bad the club's been, we are still Man United. And when the badge comes, even though it's a shit Man United that people want to help turn it round, the opportunity to do that is still huge, man.
Yeah, like, he said the project.
Dan Ashworth has got a wealth. He's got richer owners than us, okay, who clearly, let's be real with Newcastle, they're ready to they're
competent.
You know,
they're very competent.
They're very competent with what they've managed to do in 18 months, going on 2 years, right? At that club, which since how long they've been there, it's fantastic. Got to the Champions League first time of asking, ahead of schedule. Bought some really good players, some players that you would call average players, but have really worked, or just say good. Then they've got like I said, the star ones. Then they've got a new shirt deal. They're going back to Adidas. The revenue's increasing. Like, they are on a good trajectory. So if you are someone like Dan Ashworth, which is probably the reason why you went there, you've got everything you need until a bigger club comes. Because let's be honest, the football operations at Man United, we're behind Newcastle. Look how they've just scouted. Look at their talent ID.
Yeah,
even small things like, we'll get Chris Wood for this bit because that's what's right. Like, we'll spend 20 million on him. Then, like, we'll move him on at the right time. Like, we'll get Harvey Barnes. We'll get him in. You know, then Isak's obviously the Tonali thing. It's gone a bit left, but
we'll get Gordon. Even everyone goes, actually, is Gordon even that good? You know, suddenly.
I couldn't believe it. I said, "What? This kid thinks he's so good. I don't know why he don't just stay at Everton. What has he done?" When Chelsea were going to buy him for all that money, I thought, "Look at them, idiots." And then, you know, he doesn't go Chelsea. He ends up going Newcastle, and he hasn't looked back since. He's one of the best wingers in the league. Well, this season anyway. Again, in general, the team they've built, we can go on and on. But what my point is that the football setup at Newcastle, which isn't all down to Dan Ashworth, the piece with Keith Downing, he really explained that. It's not all him, but
Eddie Howe's
what
brother.
they've done...
Isn't Eddie Howe's brother? Yeah.
Who? Keith Downing?
No, Keith Downing's not Eddie Howe's brother. I mean, Eddie Howe's... Isn't Eddie Howe's brother involved in the...
He's involved in it, I think.
Recruitment. I think he just got promoted as well, involved in it as well. Yeah,
there you go.
Very significant. Yeah.
So, you know, Dan Ashworth has got everything that he needs at Newcastle to be successful. Everything. But Man United come, battered and bruised, say, "Do you want to take us back to the top? You'll be one of the main guys." Yeah. I'm in. Yeah, the lore of Man United is still there.
Yeah, absolutely. It's like you say, you could have a very strong reputation as being the guy that, you know, with all of these resources, and this fantastic project of Newcastle was part of taking them to being, a dominating figure in the Premier League, or you can, like you say, be part of the team that brought Manchester United, biggest club in the world, back to prominence and winning Premier League titles and competing for Champions League.
That's more attractive than winning it with Newcastle.
It's career defining, isn't it? It's legacy stuff, isn't it? That is legacy stuff. If you can get that right, it's the same reason why, as much of a poison chalice as the Manchester United job, the manager's job has been, people would still bend over backwards to take it, because they go, I mean, look at Eric. I mean, he had a fantastic reputation before he came to Manchester United, and everyone said, "Like, why would you do it?" Louis van Gaal's picking up the phone. Don't do it. Don't do it.
Don't go.
And why does everyone go? Because Man United. Because you go,
now look at his reputation. People say he's not a good coach anymore.
but you're like, if I can be the guy that does that, or if I can be part of the team that does that, like I said, that's legacy stuff. That is career defining. You'll go down in history, and you'll be just known as the best. If you succeed at Manchester United, you're known as the best. Like it's that cut and dry. So,
and if you fail at Man United, you're known as the worst.
Exactly. Well, even if you, not if you fail, if you do
Mm.
okay at Manchester United, you are the worst. You're still the worst. Like, that's how it works. So, but hopefully, like you say, hopefully things are changing in that regard, because it is so sink or swim. And it's swim to survive, not even swim to succeed at Manchester United. And hopefully that is changing. But it certainly is welcome news. Also, as well, actually, I suppose we haven't spoken about this when it comes to all of it, is once again, how did we really hear anything about this being a super done deal before it got announced?
True.
Like, I did shout out the Muppeteers, because I did see them do a post maybe like a week or so ago saying that, things moving on with Jason Wilcox. They reckon by sort of May, like, things are moving good. But then that's all I had really kind of heard, as if talks are going on, talks are continuing. And then next thing you know, today, Friday the 19th of April, I messaged you, didn't I? Go, Simon Peach just put a white smoke thing. And then what was that? Yeah. Boom. Then it's Romano statement by Manchester United. I mean, it's that quick. And if that is a sign of things to come from Manchester United and how they're going to operate in this kind of level, which is sort of very sort of ground level speculation, but still pretty quiet. People not really knowing what's going on too much. That's all we're kind of getting. And then suddenly, out of nowhere, boom, it's done. I'm excited for that. I look forward to that in the summer transfer window. Thank you very much.
And that's been with the same with Omar Barada, like you said. It's just straight in. Straight
yeah,
in.
Or like the reporters come out and say this, and then Man United confirm it. Like, legitimate today, it was like they confirmed like 3 minutes later. Like, it was that quick. Like, and clearly it's the statement's ready to be released and it's ready to go. And then the reporters get wind, it's ready to go. But by that point, it's too late. So they have to get it out. And they're like, again, Romano put out his exclusive thing, and Manchester United released a statement within 60 seconds, 120 seconds. It was that fast, and people caught a wind of it that late. And if that's the way that Man United are going to be moving, that's fantastic. That's great. Hopefully that is
back,
the case.
Owen. We're back.
Well, we're going to win the Premier League, the Champions League, and all of these trophies.
The Club World Cup.
No, exactly. But look, I'm sure there will still be the negative, which is he's the least significant one of the bunch, Flex. You know what I mean?
They'll find a way.
That's where it will be. He's the least significant one out of Barada and Ashworth. Wilcox is in, but where's Dan Ashworth in? Why is that not going to happen? Because there's always something, isn't there? But these are changes at Manchester United. And to me, change is not always positive. We don't know how it's going to play out in the future, but it's got to be better than what was here before. Or even different is good at this point for me. Different is good, because what we had was not working, and what we had was rubbish. So I'm more than happy for someone else to have a go. I'm more than happy for those people to have a go, to have some kind of pedigree as well as some kind of history. And I'm very excited about it. It's still going to take time. It's not going to be immediate results. We're not going to win the FA Cup because Jason Wilcox came in or anything like that.
Well, if we do win it, I will say that, by the way.
Wilcox,
I'll say it's because John Murto left. Richard Arnold left. John Murto, we couldn't beat him last year. They were there.
Exactly. That's what it will be. But no, it's still exciting because our foundations are certainly, feels like anyway, being set.
Oh, that's so funny. I just saw something really funny. Is that best of enemies thing? Oh,
I saw
in Westfield. Oh, it's brilliant.
I saw.
Robbie.
Well, yeah, because of course Robbie's
That's
going to be
brilliant.
back now, isn't he? By the
Yeah,
way,
they've done
folks,
it, they've done it, yeah.
we've got nearly 1,400 people watching. We're
Because
currently at
it's freaking news.
we're currently at 318 likes. We can easily get 500. Easily 500. Also, as well, have you seen that super chats get you can like super chats
Like
now.
them, yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I was thinking, when did that come?
Yeah, they've got thumbs up. I mean, I think it's been a thing that's been gradually happening across YouTube, but now on UV,
Oh.
yes, you can.
Oh, but
you
we
can like
can't
a super
like
chat.
it. We can do the heart on it, but it's the viewers that are liking.
I can click the like. I just did it.
I can't click it. Oh, in the back end, I can't.
Yeah.
But maybe I have to do it on the normal one, on the regular.
I think you have to do it in the chat.
Yeah,
in the chat.
Oh,
yeah.
right, okay, fair enough. You can't do it on that bit there. Well, that's good. That's good. Red Baron says I got a like. Yes, you did. Yes, you did get a like. I'm in a good.
Did you read out Red Baron super chat?
Sorry, yeah. He said
he liked
Red Baron said I liked it without even doing it. Red Baron says this is the statue of KG in UVHQ. Oh, what's a statue of KG? I think
it would be good if we could get. You can get like a small. What do they call it? A bust. We could get like a little KG. You know, like in the Queen Vic in the EastEnders.
Yeah, Peggy's in it, and
they've got like the little little statue of the person, of Queen,
like
Queen Victoria's head. Yeah, go get one of KG. You'd have to. I don't know if you'd have to like sit for it. You know what I mean? And
yeah,
and get
guys, there's nearly 1,400 of you in the chat. I'm sure one of you have links to people who do that. So yeah,
could do yeah. We did a little KG bust. That's what we need.
KG bust. How funny would that be? The reaction online from people is really positive. You know, it's really positive. This is the news we want, and it was so ironic that we were talking about this in the Trinita powered by Dangal.
Yeah, first thing he brought up, KG, wasn't it?
Yeah, he was like, "I got a question." I mean, like, here we go. What's this question now? I got a question. Don't you think it's basically alarming that these guys aren't here yet, and this, that, and the other? And KG at the start of this show said, "Oh, well, I was just talking about that. Done deal. Wow." And this is why we didn't know this was going to happen. We should really claim that we should, just to make ourselves look better. But me and Owen said, no, like, it's fine.
ITK.
It's fine. Yeah, in the know. So there you have it. Dan Ashworth is hopefully going to be following Jason.
Oh, you caught yourself.
Don't worry about me, Owen. He'd be following Jason. See that little segue there?
I thought, is he going to save himself?
I said, Dan Ashworth. Owen went, I said, don't worry about me, Owen. Don't you worry about that.
I do that a lot. I'll say someone's name wrong, and then I'll think in my head, I've got to tie this back quickly. Yeah, they will be following.
Owen, we are professionals.
Yes.
Yeah. We are professional. You can tell we do this all the time.
Yeah.
Okay. We do many streams, many hours.
Yeah.
Okay. Good segue. So Dan Ashworth will be hoping to follow the likes of Jason Wilcox and Omar Barada into Manchester United. Probably not with immediate effect, but with some effect in the summer. But today is Jason Wilcox's day, exclusively his. This was his 42 minutes and 43 minutes and 30 seconds. Big up to him.
Or
he
as Katie calls him, John Wilcox.
No, Joe, wasn't it?
Joe, that was it. Joe Wilcox.
When you try, what's his name? Wilcox. Yeah, but what's his name? Joe.
Because in his head, he went, I'm not certain. I'm going to go with Joe.
And I'm going to see what happens. It's his main point as well. It's the point he wants to bring up. So he hasn't gone, right, before I ask this question, let me make sure I'm across it all.
Joe Wilcox.
Yeah, you're disappointed in Joe Wilcox is not coming or had not here yet because it's not him. That's not the person.
It's always with him. That's why it really tickled me when we said that in the Trinity, because he always gets names wrong. Always. David Gill, Regulion, Joe Wilcox. Fever, his favorite game. But it's always names. Always calls people the wrong names.
He couldn't say Camboila at the start as well, could it?
Campbell Wells.
Jesus.
My favorite one is Regulion, because that is so ridiculous.
So according to KG, you spell it REG Regulion. OOLION. Regulion. Anyway, it's not about Regulion today. He's gone. He's at Brentford. I forget
Joe
he was playing
Wilcox.
for us. It's about Joe Wilcox. But yes, Jason Wilcox is our new technical director. Massive news. And if you haven't done any reading up on him and stuff like that, I've just seen actually. Big up to Kane at United District. He's done a really good piece about everything you need to know about
They
him.
do really good articles. Really good.
Yeah, they do
detailed
really
stuff.
thorough. Yeah, so check out United District for all that sort of stuff. Obviously, there's going to be loads of stuff out there about him, but that just caught my eye. If you're looking for a quick one to read now, so yeah, smash a like on the video, guys. Subscribe to the channel if you are new. If you haven't seen it yet, and you're only just joining us now because of this breaking news, do go back and watch the Trinity episode 12, powered by Dangor. And see what we had to say. It was a really good show, good vibes as always. So check that out. Tomorrow morning, dropping 9 a.m. My preview outside Wembley, live. It's not live. Outside Wembley for the game on Sunday. So yeah, plenty of content to come. And if anything else happens in between that, you know what will happen. We will be live and we will bring it to you. So big up to everyone involved in the channel. Big up to all you guys in the comments. Have a good Friday. There you go. That's a nice way to end your week, isn't it? Just before the semi-final. Jason Wilcox over the line. More to follow. Little bit of positivity in what is, you know, a really tough, awful season. So yeah, big up to yourself, guys. Red Baron now has 16 likes on his super chat as well. Yeah, big up to him.
There you go.
Yeah, big up, guys. Take care. See you soon. Peace.